Give me a minute, and in this episode of Russia on Fire, the Ilsky oil refinery in Krasnodar Krai. Now, this is not one of the big 10. It's in the bottom half of refineries in Russia, processing about 6.6 million tons of crude oil a year. But this is not the only thing that's on fire. After last night's Ukrainian drone attack on Russia, not only was this oil refinery burning, but this right here, this pumping station on the road to the Black Sea Marine Terminal was also hit. And that's the biggest pumping station on the entire Caspian Consortium pipeline, which you can see flows all the way from Kazakhstan. And until recently, carried a lot of Kazakh oil. Now, I say until recently because, you know, all these former Soviet states, even as the United States abnegates its entire ideal of what it is, to partner up with and support Russia, of all our enemies, we see Trump embracing Putin. All the former Soviet states are moving away from Moscow as fast as they can. Kazakhstan recently rerouted its oil, most of it, 80% of it, through Azerbaijan now. And so this pipe is likely carrying far less oil from Kazakhstan than it used to. So it may not be as big or as important a hit as it has been in the past, which leads one to ask the question, why? Right? Like there's lots of other pipelines you could hit that would seriously impact Russia's ability to export oil. Why hit this one? Well, maybe that's because the Ukrainians are smart. They want to send a message to Moscow that they can hit these pumping stations. They can turn the taps off. But for right now, we're going to hit this one, which is not as critical for you right now. It's going to mean millions of dollars a day. Don't get me wrong. But not hundreds of millions of dollars. Not hundreds of millions. It won't. It's too small a percentage of the global oil market to affect pricing outside of the immediate vicinity. I think. I believe that is the case, especially now that the Kazakhs are not transferring oil through it the way they had in the past. So if those assumptions are correct, then this is more about sending a message to Russia that its pipelines are targets and they can be hit. And we've seen a couple of these now. This would be the third or fourth hit against an export pipeline for crude oil. That bread and butter of the Russian economy has been off limits to Ukraine until very recently, until 2025. All those hits were recorded in 2025, to the best of my knowledge. So Russia's on fire again. Critical infrastructure, oil infrastructure is hit again. It's hit again in Krasnodar Krai, right, which is right adjacent, just across the Black Sea from Ukraine, where all the fighting's going on. And so you know that the oil products refined in this market, military has first dibs on them. They're going to drive the war effort in the southern military district. That is Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Crimea. Clearly, Ukraine, with its limited supply of long-range weapons and the formidable task of thwarting Russian air defense and other security to make these hits inside of Russia, is choosing the targets where they know they will be successful and they will have a desired result. And so this continues. This is now 38 hits against 20 unique refineries. So virtually every one of the refineries that's been hit has been hit at least twice. I believe this is the first hit against Ilsky. All right. Big thanks to Jason Willis Starrin, who is the sponsor of this video. Jason joined the Patreon at the Sea Babies level or higher. And so every month I thank him personally for his ongoing support, without which this channel would not be possible. Thank you, Jay.